sad Statue of Liberty and a generation that didn't agree. You and me will all go down in history with a sad Statue of Liberty and a generation that didn't
agree. Today I'm out at the local range with a Canik TP9 SF chambered 9mm. But it's not about the Canik. It's all about what's mounted to the front of the Canik. This is the Mantis Rifle and Pistol Training System by MantisX. So what it does is hooks to your phone via Bluetooth, and it's kind of like a personal trainer for handguns. It tells you, and rifles. They updated it, the app, to rifles as well. So it kind of tells you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. It tells you how much you're wiggling, how much you're shaking prior to breaking the trigger, and immediately after breaking the trigger on the follow-up shot. So Mantis has this wonderful app that you can put on your phone. It's available for free at the Play Store. And this hooks to your phone via Bluetooth. And then you can be your own personal trainer. So I'm going to take you over to the bench and show you how to use the app a little bit, and then see if I need some training. So let's go to the bench. Alright, so here we are at the bench. I just took the Mantis out of the box, downloaded the app from the App Store. And what really impresses me is the Mantis came in a 1010 Pelican case. I mean, this is a micro Pelican case. So that's the packaging is a thumbs up right away. I mean, once you take it out of the case, I guess you can use the case for anything. Here's the box. So it's the Mantis Firearms Training System for rifles and pistols. Here's the app. Now this is going to be tough to see, I'm sure, but it says to get started, press the button on your MantisX hardware device to turn it on. Once the green LED is blinking, press the connect button in the app to connect to the Mantis device. So here you have a little button on the bottom of the Mantis. You press it, and the LED is blinking. So we'll press connect. Bluetooth permission request. Whoops, I forgot to turn the Bluetooth on. So yes, I'd like to turn my Bluetooth on. Sorry if there's any wind noise, it's a little windy out. So connect. So it's scanning now for the Mantis that is mounted to the Canik. So first step is calibration. It says to calibrate the gun or the Mantis, leave it sit on the bench. So it's sitting on the bench. Now it says great. Before we shoot, let's double check some settings. So we'll go to the navigation button, go to settings, and this is where you're going to set up rifle or pistol. So that's a Canik, so it's a pistol. Current firearm, select firearm. Select pistol or rifle. Whenever you're shooting live rounds, some firearms have small accessory rails and require you to mount the Mantis device backwards. So you can mount it frontwards or backwards or up or down. You just have to tell the app which one you want. So I picked pistol. Now there's all sorts of pistols already preloaded in here, and so you could pick from the list, but of course the Canik's not going to be in there, but it's close to the CZ, and I think you can actually, if you can't find your pistol in here, you can, at the bottom there's an add new section, so add new. Make is the Canik TP9SF. Canik TP9SF. Sorry, I'm trying to do this in frame. So the make is Canik. The model is TP9SF. And then it asks you the caliber. And then you just type in 9mm and save it. And then so there's your Canic TP9 SF. Right-handed or left-handed shooter, so I'm a right-handed shooter. Live fire, CO2, or dry fire, so we're going to be doing live fire. Where the device is mounted, forward, backwards, top, bottom, so it's mounted forward, it's on the bottom. Bullseye mode, I have no clue what that is. And so there's your settings. Now, all you got to do is go to train. So we'll go through the software. So here's your, it says MantisX tracks your shooting over sessions. To start your first session, press the start button below. Mantis is now analyzing your movement data in real time and looking for 5 shots. Go ahead and take 5 shots. Alright, so we're going to cut here, load it up, and take 5 shots and see how it goes. Alright, I'll be taking 5 shots at that 10-inch target. There it is. Alright, let's check this app now. Okay, so 79.2 says great shooting. Go ahead and hit the stop button and see more summary statistics. So it says reading the shot chart can be a little tricky at first, but it's just in the circle. This means you're pulling back, that means you're pulling forward, and that means you're flinching to the left or the right. So it's pretty much like this is your bore, and you know, so front, back, left, and right. So, and then it gives you possible causes down at the bottom of what you could do to try to improve your shooting. So it says I was breaking my wrist up. So as I was shooting, I was breaking my wrist up, and it'll tell you how to fix it if you click on them. And so it says breaking wrist up means that the wrist is relaxed during the trigger and handgun moved up from the aiming position. To correct this issue, keep the wrist locked and straight during the trigger pull. Make sure that the angle of the wrist stays the same throughout the phase of the shot. And so that means that there was 2 there. There's a line there, so there's 1, 2 shots, 3, 4, and then 5. And then so the left side, too little trigger finger. So I didn't have my finger fully on the trigger as I was trying to fire those 5 rounds. So there was 2 where I was limp wristing, 2 that my finger wasn't enough on the trigger, and then the third one is slapping the trigger. I was just slapping the trigger pretty much. So that's the first little chart that they have there. And then there's the second chart. This view shows a chart of your scores for each shot during the session, and a chart for the hold movement and trigger press movement before each shot. Hold movement is calculated by looking at the movement before the trigger press, while the trigger press movement analyzes the movement during the quarter second before the shot breaks. So if you really want to get into it, you can see how I was controlling the trigger break milliseconds before I was breaking the trigger, and then after. And then it shows here you can see the movement of the gun for each shot, color coded as follows: green, hold; yellow, trigger press; red shows movement after the trigger breaks, which may be very large. You made it to the end of the tutorial. So there's pretty much the tutorial, and then the last one is an actual live of where you're pointing the firearm at the target. And so this is quite the system. Like I said, the app is free, and it's kind of a very interesting training. You know, if you're really interested in training yourself or training your new shooters, it really helps with the cause and effect of how well you break the trigger, how well the gun, you know, how well you function with the firearm. And so here's the next thing. I'm going to give this system away. This whole deal. I think it's really helpful for newer shooters and probably competition shooters, people that really want to know exactly precisely how they're breaking the trigger and how to control their firearm. But as far as I go, I mean, I'm going to use this. I've been playing with this. I've been dry firing in my living room quite a bit, and the dry fire versus the actual live fire is a lot different. My scores were getting to be the 93 percentile out of 5 shots during dry fire, and of course there I was just kind of showing an example of how pre-dawn needs some training. So if you would like this Mantis training system, I'm going to give it away to the first person in the comments section that says, I want this. I want this in the comment section. First person that I see. I don't want no bickering and battling about who got it first, but the first person that would like me to ship this to them and give the Mantis a try for themselves, put I want this in the comment section, and I'll PM you, or you PM me your address once I get a hold of you and tell you you're the first one, and then we'll go from there. But this is quite a revolutionary training system. I mean, it can tell you down to the soup and nuts on what you're doing wrong. And I already know what I'm doing wrong. I shoot the gun sideways. So anyway, if you want this system, I want this in the comment section below. In the description below, there will be a link to the Mantis website. So if you want one of these and you don't get the one that I'm going to give away, you can contact them. The retail is $149 on this little baby. But it can improve your shooting massively. I mean, if you know what you're doing wrong, you could correct it. And so when I was doing the dry fire exercises, I could really tell how I was breaking it, how I wasn't breaking it, and I could fix those issues as I was using the app. And so you can reset it and hit start again and start all over. So I don't want to make this too long of a video. Mantis sent me one of these along with Mr. Ebomi. I seen he had one, and Jerry has it now. And so Mantis got a hold of me and said, hey, do you want to do an honest review on this? And so my honest opinion is, yes, it's worth the money if you would like to know how you shoot and if there's any improvements that you need. If you want to sit in your house and dry fire your pistol and try to get good at your pistol, or you have a new shooter, yes, this is perfect. For me, it's not so much, because like I said, I mean, I go crazy, but it's cool that you can use this on rifle or pistol, and it's got such versatility. I appreciate Mantis for sending me this and giving it a shot. And like I said, I've been using it. I actually have been using it a lot, dry firing. That's why it's taken me a little bit to get a video. I think I've had this for a month now, and so I've been playing around with it for a month. And it's a very interesting concept, and I really like it, and it works really good. I mean, it will tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and how to fix the issues, and that's what you need if you're looking for training. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.